Hello, ladies. I'm so excited. Today is big business energy. If you're coming on now, say hello in the comments. If you're catching the replay, also say hi. And as I always say, when you're in these free masterclasses, the best way for you to get the most out of it is to have this energetic container where you're dropping comments, you're dropping your aha moments, you're letting me know what's landing. And then later on, we can go back and have more of a conversation about it. And it also helps other people if they see you ask something, or if they see you dropping a comment and how it really landed for you, it sparks more and more connections. And that's what these free masterclasses are for, to provide you with sparks of connection between energy, strategy, and your next moves. If you're new to the community, welcome. My name's Lennon. I am the heart and soul behind Bad Bitch Energy Coaches, and I'm a multi-six-figure business mentor. I started my journey in 2013, had a spiritual awakening. 2015, opened up a wellness center. 2020, I started online business coaching, and I am here today. And I'm super excited. This is going to be a really potent and activating 3 days. So if you can clear your schedule to be here, I highly recommend it. So today we're going to be diving into high caliber clients. On day 2, we're going to be diving into high caliber cash. And day 3, high caliber hearts and what that really means. So I created this because this is like one of my favorite things to teach. It's bringing and juxtapositioning energy and strategy together and really breaking it down with a little quantum physics, some business strategy, and then creating more awareness inside of you with your emotional, intellectual, spiritual, physical intelligence. And also in your body, right? That's really important to understand. So there's also going to be prize giveaways. And if you would like to be put in the draw for that, then all you have to do is take the graphic that says I'm in. If you need it, I will send it to you, post it to your story, and tag me. So that's one way to get into the draw for the prize. The prizes are going to be oncoming guests for Unleashed on social media that starts in November. I'm really excited about this. It gives you the opportunity to be featured, to be highlighted, to show off your gifts, your services. And it also helps other people to get their eyes on you, but it also helps because we're going to have more of a conversational type interaction on this series, where it allows other people to maybe have some kind of question resolved that they wanted resolved. And let me just check my Wi-Fi because something looks a little bit funky. I feel like I'm frozen. Let me know in the comments if you can see me. Hopefully, at least you can just hear me. I'm going to check my phone. Just check my Wi-Fi because something looks a little bit. Okay. All good, all good, all good. So how is everyone doing? I hope you're well. How's your week going? What's new in your business? Let me know. So the Unleashed on social media, it's just a really great opportunity for you to be featured. Come on, ask questions, talk about you, and it will help other people in the community. And this is my way of giving back to the community. So it's twofold, right? So let's get into it. And as we go along, again, comment, put your questions or your aha moments in the comments so that we can really have this dialogue in what's going on energetically, strategically, and what your current status is, what your current energy is around clients. So, one of my gifts is creating clients. I've never struggled with it. But I also look at struggling with creating clients very logical and on an energetic stance and with perspective. And when I say that, I'm meaning that whether a client works with me or doesn't is a complete detachment, meaning I'm not in a thirsty place. Like, my nervous system is calm. I don't worry about it. And I've really made that my number one job as a mentor, as a coach, as a business owner, to cultivate that kind of energy, perspective, and that logical piece to it. So we really want to infuse together the logical pieces of why things are working, why things are not working, why we're getting clients, why we're not getting clients, and our energy, right? So these are really two important pieces to building a business. We know that if we are only in the energy and we don't have any structure, we don't have any groundedness to the business, there's no strategy, then that flow will be a really chaotic mess. And yes, like, messy action is super important. But when you get to a point in your business, there needs to be more coherence. There needs to be more cooperation, because that cooperation creates more harmony in your business. That strategy creates more coherence in your business. And that's important, right? So, high caliber clients, right? What does the word caliber mean? And why is this important? Because we hear it everywhere now in the coaching industry, in the online space. High caliber, high caliber, high caliber. So let's really break this down so that you can understand it, create more awareness around it, and then see how it connects to the practical and the strategic things in your business that you may or may not be doing, that if once you hear, could spark something and say, you know what, I think I'm going to clean this up in my strategy to be able to create more clients. So high caliber consists of these 4 principles. You might want to write this down or you can comment it in the comments. And when you get a moment, please like this video so other people get this message. It helps me and it helps this community. Thank you. Number 1 is quality. High caliber equals quality. Number 2 is standard. High caliber equals standard. Number 3 is ability. High caliber equals ability. And number 4 is intelligence. High caliber equals intelligence. So quality, standard, ability, intelligence. Quality, standard, ability, intelligence. These are the principles that are in the creation of what creates high caliber clients. So take a moment to think about, and you can let me know when you know things are going, they're working, the clients are signing, right? What is that feeling that you get? Drop it in the comments. What is that feeling that you get when you are in that high caliber, quality, high standards, your ability, your intelligence is flowing? right? What is that feeling that you get? Is it excitement? Does it feel like you're flying? Does it feel like this joy? Do you feel expansive? Do you feel like you're elevated? Like what does it feel for you? This is important. It's important to take stock of what this word means so that you can digest it. So your body's intelligence can digest this in a way that makes sense to you on a physical intelligence level. And the cool thing about this in terms of energetics is that when you get used to knowing in terms of physical intelligence, your body's intelligence, you will be able to embrace and pick up on that type of feeling that is required for us to be able to create high caliber clients, right? So we're talking about the energy piece right now. So what is that feeling? Okay, so Jackie says excitement, helping others. Keisha, feeling of confirmation, joy, gratitude, channeled and focused. High caliber, 4 principles, love it. Quality standard, ability and intelligence, doing well, awesome. Awesome, ladies, I love this. Doesn't this make it more fun when we're interacting? Great. Okay, so we've talked about really the principles of high caliber, right? Then we just discovered the feeling inside of our body when we know that we're in a high caliber state. When we are in a high caliber state, then we're going to magnetize high caliber clients on an energetic level. Okay. So I want to give you a little bit of a visual in terms of energy and centrifugal force. So when we're in this state, we're feeling good, we're exciting, the clients are signing up, they're reaching out to us, we're having great conversations, you feel it. It's like not even just over the horizon. It's like it's happening. The rainbows are popping. Things are flowing. It feels good, right? We're high vibing it. We're in that momentum, we're in that flow. So when we're there, there's actually something that's really happening too. It's an alchemical process that's going on in your body that you have created, right? It's not the chicken or the egg in this case. Even if it was 6 months ago, you have been working on this momentum. You have been working on your energy. You have been tuning things up and pulling layers back and seeing what's over here, seeing what needs to be cleaned up here. You are the creator of this high caliber energy, and you can tap into it anytime that you want, anytime. And you can go from 0 to 100 at any moment. And just imagine if you did this every single day, right? If you stepped into this high caliber energy every single day, that's money in the bank, baby. Because every action that we have done in our business and to help ourselves create those clients is compound effect. It is just stacking up diamond after diamond after diamond. And you're going through things and you're challenging things and you're stepping out of your comfort zone and you're making connections and you're building relationships, one with yourself, one with your people. These are momentous actions that stack up onto each other and they never disappear, ever. Which brings me to the understanding of E equals MC squared, right? Simply put, energy and mass are interchangeable. They're interchangeable, which means if you do not like your current circumstances, you are not the circumstance. You are not the lack. You are whatever it is that your energy is. And you can flip them out whenever you choose. You have so much freaking power within you to make radical shifts in a moment, in a day. After this session, you can create that interchangeable switch inside of your body, inside of your beliefs, inside of your mind, inside of your feelings, inside of the feeling body, that allows you to create that shift, right? So you are more than your physical body, also known as you are more than the clients that you have or the lack thereof. You are more than your current circumstance. You are more than the challenge right now. You are more than this pillow. You are more than this pen. You are more than the matter in the room that surrounds you. You are more than the contractions that you're experiencing, even the expansions. You are more than this, which means you can change anything at any time, create as much money as you want at any time, create the clients whenever you want. This is in your power. This is in your control. And you've done it before. And if you've done it before, you have evidence that you can do it again. Energy and mass are interchangeable. Centrifugal force now, right? So roller coasters, how do they stay on the track? How do they stay on the track and flip upside down? That's mind-blowing, right? It's wild. It's a wild ride creating clients, but it's fun and it's impactful and it's connection, it's excitement, it's growth, it's relationship, it's intimacy, it's community, it's courage, it's expansion of becoming more and better. And that is the same thing, is that roller coaster maintaining those tracks, but creating such momentum. That same centrifugal force is inside of each and every one of you. Right? Think about it. We don't plug ourselves in to keep our heartbeat running. That's a force that is keeping us alive. It's delicate, but it is so powerful. You are so powerful beyond belief. But the storylines of, you know, what happened last week, last launch, last month, you know, the storylines of, you know, what we see something really briefly, even if we're not scrolling on social media, it could be a word that pops out to us and just completely, we make up this story about it. Who's done that? We are powerful beings. And at any moment, we can create that centrifugal force inside of us that births clients, right? This is the energetic piece of being high caliber. The quality of our energy, the quality of our standard, the quality of our ability, the quality of our intelligence. To know that we are more than our physical body. We are more than just this matter. You've started this business for a really important reason. What was that reason? I want to know in the comments. What was that omni point? What was that omni point that sparked that force within you? Do you remember? Do you remember that point of attraction, right? So here you are running a business. You're learning how to run a business. You're learning how to grow a business, two different things. You're learning how to be a better practitioner in your zone of genius. You're learning how to be an entrepreneur and make your money work for you instead of you making you working for money, right? We're playing all of these roles and it is brilliant. It is above and beyond. Nobody forced you into this role. You chose it. But somewhere along the lines, we become apathetic. We lose our spark. We lose our centrifugal force. We forget and we start thinking we're just matter versus energy. And maybe you do have that. Maybe you are in that space, right? But you're looking to go to that high caliber, juicy, new point of attraction that allows you to be a next version of yourself, right? And having a next version of your desires. We become apathetic. We hear chirps in our ears, family, friends, whoever it is, telling us that, that's a little impossible. You're asking for too much. Aren't you happy with what you have? Like all of that chatter. That's a usurp that gets into the corners of our body, the harmonic corners of our body that creates that dissonance, that negative dissonance in our body. And little by little, we become a little bit dimmer. We dim, we dim, we dim, we dim, we dim. The only reason why I have no doubts in my mind, in my body, in my life anymore, and if they do come into my mind for a split second, I flip that on its head. Because I know for a fact that that is self-deprecation. And I refuse to do that to myself anymore because I've been down harder. I've been down dark alleys. And we've all been there. We have all been in those dark alleys. We all have those reminders of how dark it can get sometimes. And those little things that keep happening to us, whether it's a word, a visual, a symbol, some type of communication, a story, a pattern, that stuff also adds up and compounds and dims us. And so here's the thing. This is the thing. We're going to start to attract high caliber clients when we stand and own our power. And what that really, truly, truly looks like is that we no longer have time to stay more than a fraction of a second in doubt, in self-loathing, in pickiness, in imperfection, in exhaustion, in apathy. That means that's what's really your power is. When you decide you are no longer going to allow more than a split second for that stuff to come into your mind, your body, your life, and you say, no, thanks, I'll checkmate that. I'll leave that at the door. I'm going to leave that one at the, take it out, taking that trash out. So let me know so far, what's that aha moment? What's stirring in you right now? I would love to know. This is high caliber. This is being high caliber before you can magnetize and attract those high caliber clients in, right? The ones that invest and reinvest over and over with you. The ones that are willing to show up and they want the transformation and they're self-led. The ones that are willing to invest into your high ticket offer and not question every single thing about it, right? The ones who are willing to work on themselves and understand the power of investing in your services, and that it's not a cost, and that it's the safest, most obvious thing that they can be doing right now to improve whatever niche you're in. If we want to become, if we want to attract, we have to become. So there might be things to clean up. There might be some messes to clean up. So think about possibly where are these messes that might need to be cleaned up. And number one, we do not shame ourselves anymore. When we see a mess, when we might have done something that, you know, wasn't the best, cut, no more shame. That stuff kills people. That shame keeps people in those dark alleys, whether it's their business, whether it's their life, whether it's the relationship. That stuff keeps people in those alleys, in the dark and small. Shame, no more. I'll tell you something that I do. I've been doing this for about 6 months now. And it's a side note, but it always makes me feel so much better. It allows me to nurture myself, reparent myself, and love myself in ways that other people's capacity couldn't. So at night, before I go to bed, I sit with myself. I do a quick little scan of my body, what I'm feeling. You know, I can feel when I'm a little agitated, or like, what is this thing poking me? Is it something in my business that I did, that I saw? You know, what was that? And then I find the feeling and I say, okay, good. I'm glad I'm aware of that now. Because now that I know the connection between the incident and the feeling, I have awareness. So then what I do is I also look at things that I really liked that I did during the day in my business. And so then and this is going to be weird, not probably to you, but I say to myself, Lynn, you did a really good job today. I'm so proud of you. I love you. Right? Nobody's gonna love us like we love us. And yeah, nobody, most people haven't had the kind of love that they truly picture in their mind from their parents. So we have to really parent ourselves through building a business. We have to parent ourselves through the ups and downs, through the dips, through the lows, through the highs. So this is something that I do to keep my high caliber energy. Because we go to bed at night and, we're always talking about morning routine, but, a lot of things happen when we sleep, a lot of stuff, who knows, right? We're healing, we're mending, there's things going on in our body that are reconnecting. So who wants to go to sleep mad, right? So I do this to stay high caliber in my business. So I wake up the next morning and I'm not thinking and perseverating on something that I haven't even become aware of, but I know it's there and it's uncomfortable and I'm like agitated about it. So this is just something I thought I would share because it is one way that I have been able to cultivate that high caliber state of life, quality of life force, energy, and that centrifugal force within me. So these are the qualities, these are the principles, this is the energy around high caliber being. So if we want the high caliber clients, then we have to be them first. And so you might have heard this, and it took me a few times to really integrate this and hear it in different ways. And it might trigger you, or you could look at it more and reframe it as an activation, right? But if we're running a business, if it's included with clients and money and power and showing up and leading, right? We have to look at our finances. We have to look at, are we being that client? Are we, if we want somebody to work with us, right? And invest this high amount of money, are we also investing at least the same amount? There will be a misalignment. And this isn't about shame. This is about just getting things in alignment, right? It might be that you have to go and manage your finances a little bit better, right? Then what this does is really gets us out of the need of clients. And I've said this before, like, for your business to run, you don't need clients. You make your business run. That's in your control. And I know it's like paradoxical, but it's also like that understanding of you have to be it before you can see it, or you have to believe it before you can see it manifest. That also took me a little time to understand and wrap my mind around it, because we've been taught seeing is believing, seeing is believing, seeing is believing, or I won't take action. I won't take action until I get the client. I won't invest until I get the client. I won't invest into a coach myself until I pay off these bills or pay this off or pay this off. Right? So we know that believing is seeing, but how would you act if you absolutely knew the universe had even more in store for you, more than you could imagine? How would you act? It's a powerful question. So another example I want to talk about it on the centrifugal force. You fall down, right? And someone walks over to you. They grab your hand, all your weight's down because you're completely out of commission. And they're pulling you up, right? That's forceful. That takes a lot of energy from both you and the person that's pulling you up. So this is what most of us do when we hit that floor, is we're kind of waiting for something. We're waiting for a sign. We're waiting for this. We're waiting for the money. We're waiting for the clients to pull us up. That exerts all that energy versus being called up, right? Being called up, meaning, are you getting the support that you need to be called up to that next level? I wouldn't be here showing up the way I am in the past 3 months if I wasn't working with a coach. I go back. I easily go back to old stories, patterns, oh, this is so comfy. I think I'll stay here for a little bit longer, My coach calls me up. She activates me. Sometimes she triggers me. Sometimes I'm like, I didn't want to hear that, but I know too much that if I stay there, it's only going to hurt me. So I got to neutralize that, go back to finding the best in her, finding something that she's taught me that today, other than the thing that I didn't like that she said, and go with that, go in that direction, right? So we have these constant choices of either being called up or waiting to be pulled up, which really splits our energy versus being activated, being connected to a coach, being connected into a community. Which brings us perfectly into this next segment. So far, if you are on, let me know what's landing for you. We're going to get into the strategy. So how do we create high caliber clients? With strategy, with the practical pieces of our business, right? What are these key elements to be able to create something bigger? We know it's bigger. We know it's going to be bigger. We want it to be bigger, right? But what are those strategic pieces that allow us even more space to create more clients? Well, number one is space. Answer this for me in the comments. If you had 10 clients signing up with you today, does your business have space for it? Do you have a place to put them? Are your links set up? Are your back end set up? Are your welcome emails set up? Are your containers prepped? Do you have containers that are evergreen? Do you have, different containers where one might not be ready for one, but one might be ready for another? So where's the preparation is really important. I talked about this yesterday in terms of manifestation with the 5-5-5 method. A big piece of manifesting clients is preparation. If there is all clutter in the house, we can't invite people in. There's nowhere for them to sit. There's no place to sit down and have a conversation and learn. If it's really yucky and mucky, no one's going to want to come in and bring the baked goods. Meaning they won't want to pay us high ticket. So we have to be able to create space, and using a strategy, a social media strategy, is one of the greatest ways to create space. So what consists of a social media strategy? Do you know? Do you have one right now? And is it working? Is it not working? Are you implementing it? Is it one that maybe it's old and you don't like it anymore, and you're still using it because that's all you know? You don't really know anything else of what to do. So you're kind of just letting it fly. Your social media strategy, we want it to be quality, high standard, ability, and intelligence, right? Wrapping these principles around your social media strategy with intention. The intention piece is so important in anything that we do. And we can't have an intention with something that we don't like anymore, that it is old, that, you know. And this is the other thing too with manifestation in clients, is as we consciously grow and our desires grow as coaches and entrepreneurs, that desire needs to be met with a higher quality kind of strategy. That doesn't mean more difficult, but it means being fine-tuned. And 9 times out of 10, it's difficult for us to be able to see into our own strategy. You could probably look at me and you could be like, yeah, I know what her problem is. More than I could myself at times, right? And I look around at people in the social media and I'm like, oh, I would love to work with her. I know exactly where the gap is. So that's the power of having that support so that you can stay high caliber with your strategy to attract more clients, right? It's that quality support. It's creating that quality space. It's creating that standard. It's creating that seamless strategy that is up to date, that works for you and plays up to your own strengths. It's the ability, right? Are you able to use it every day consistently? And is it reaping results? And then your intelligence, right? The intelligence of that strategy. Usually, this is a funny story, but I remember when GPS first came out. I think it was like 2000. Well, for me, when I started using it, it was like 2008. And I remember going home from somewhere and I was like really nervous about the GPS and I wasn't trusting it. And my friend was just like, just trust the GPS. I'm like, okay. So this is with strategy, we don't trust in the strategy. Having a strategy is really spiritual and really powerful if you look at it like that. It creates more brain space for you. It allows you to activate your own high caliber intelligence, your own ability, your higher standard, your quality time, quality service, quality creating your containers, quality content, quality communication, right? How is the communication? The language. What happened to me in the beginning when I first jumped into the online space is that I was speaking to 3 different types of people. Now, there's nothing wrong with this, but for me, it was doing me disservice. Because I had one conversation of this type of woman who was at this level. Then I had another conversation at this type of woman at this level. And then I had another conversation of this type of woman at this level. And so I had to clean that up. Something that we do with my clients is the STP model, segment target positioning. So It's about really understanding who you're speaking to. And then your communication and your language, which is the vehicle to draw people in through your posts, your lives, your videos, your reels, your stories. That's how we bring people in and how we position ourselves for who we're for in our brand. And that creates an important piece to your social media strategy. And when you have that strong social media strategy, you're creating brand awareness. So creating that brand awareness is really important on Instagram, number one. And even Facebook. But when we have that social media strategy, and we see it as like that guide, right? That compass that allows us to be more expansive, thus then high caliber, then it makes things much easier. So let's talk about brand awareness and high caliber to create those high caliber clients, right? It's consistency, frequency, and vibe. So how much are you consistent with your message, who you're for, who you're not for, your frequency, right? How many times are you creating content and displaying the symbols and the language that speak to that person? Like at the rate, every day? Are you just posting once a week? Are you posting twice a day? And then it's the vibe of who you are, your principles, your values, the way you speak, the way you show up, your beliefs. That stuff brings people in. So these are really important pieces to creating high caliber clients. You know, messy action is great, but at some point when you've built a foundation, you've been in business for a year, there needs to be more coherence and cooperation in your strategy to create those high caliber clients. So other things to consider around the 4 principles: quality, standard, ability, intelligence, to attract high caliber clients. Lead generation. Like, we have hashtags, yes. There's an algorithm, yes. But do you have a lead generation strategy that brings people to the front door? If not, it's something to think about. We have to work it. Work it. We've got to work our lead generation strategy. I'm talking organic. And I highly recommend to not do anything automated until you master an organic lead generation strategy that is working. Let's just say, for instance, you had a lead generation strategy and it was working, and then something stopped. Right? You were attracting high caliber clients, and then something stopped. The last thing I want you to imprint into your mind right now is anything about the economy. It's the last thing I want you to do. But what I do want you to do is take a look at things. Have a conversation with yourself. What has really changed? Sit down. If you sit down and ask yourself, all right, what is it? What is it, higher intelligence? What is it, brain? What is it, heart? What needs to shift in my business? You'll get the answer. The problem is that when we get that answer, we start to lose our momentum unless we're working with a coach that can call us up. I know you have high sparks of high caliber moments here, 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 here. They happen all the time. But building and growing and scaling that business, creating more clients is going to require you to have the frequency. So here are some other things to consider. Do you need a team member? Are your offers something that people actually want? There was a span of time that I created things without asking people what they wanted. And it delayed me for a while until I was like, all right, I'm going to put my pride aside and I'm just going to go ask people, what do you want? And that was one of the toughest things for me. I had to ask people what they wanted. So, I mean, do your offers, are they something that people actually want, need, and didn't know they needed but wanted? Are your offers something that are going to make you happy also and make you money? Energetic capacity, we kind of talked about this. If 10 to 20 clients wanted to work with you today, do you have the space? Are things set up? Do you have the energetic space? Do you have the mental space? Do you have the time? Do you have your calendar and your Calendly links, right? Is it set up? Do you have specific days that you want to work with people? This is preparation. Your payment links, your contracts, your modules. Do you have scalable offers? The other things, understanding your client journey. How does someone come to the front door and then invest into you? Do you know your client journey? This creates high caliber clients. Are you doing trust building? Trust building is huge. And then we have a supportive network. I'll tell you a quick story about a supportive network. So I didn't realize the importance of my network being my net worth, because we can't stay small, leave all the groups, stay in the corner and just try to do it on our own, because it will feel like you're taking on a beast. And that's when people feel like social media sucks. You've got to have some kind of network, some type of group that allows you to engage in, to feel like you're a part of. This is so important. It is important to have collaborations, to create mutually beneficial opportunities with each other. This really sparks things in your business, and it also benefits you from building your audiences together, right? We can't just do this alone. If everyone rises up together, it just makes the whole centrifugal force and the momentum rise up easily. So then we have community building and relationship building, which kind of goes hand in hand with lead generation. Are you doing that on a day-to-day basis? This is also very important. All right, this was longer than I expected. Let me know what's really landing for you, what you learned, and what sparked inside of you. So tomorrow, I am so over the moon excited about tomorrow. Tomorrow is High Caliber Cash, and I'm going to be talking about my brand new technique that I implemented in one day and created 9K. I am not kidding. The very next day I implemented this technique, it went through the roof. I saw immediate results. So you do not want to miss this. Okay, I think that's it. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. I'm really excited for tomorrow, same place, same time. And I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will talk to you then. Bye, loves.